Howdy. Hello, this is Peyton Carter, and I'm going to be doing a teaching about marijuana. Now, people who do smoke marijuana, they try to justify them doing so by Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, and God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." They also try to justify it with Genesis chapter 9 and verse 3, which it says, "Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things." But what you gotta understand is that in Genesis chapter 1, there was no sin yet. Sin didn't corrupt the planet. So all these plants were good. But then, once man sinned, all these thistles and bad things started to occur on the planet. And in 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 39 through 41, it talks about a bad plant. It says, "And one went out into the field to gather herbs, and found a wild vine, and gathered thereof wild gourds, his lap full, and came and shred them into the pot of pottage, for they knew them not. So they poured out for the men to eat. And it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage, that they cried out and said, O thou man of God, there is death in the pot, and they could not eat thereof. But he said, Then bring meal. And he cast it into the pot, and he said, Pour out for the people, that they may eat. And there was no harm in the pot." So there was a herb that could kill you. And marijuana dumbs you down. Why do you think they're trying to legalize it? Because they want to dumb down the masses. And as Christians, we're supposed to be sober-minded. Also in 2 Kings, it calls it pot, which is funny, because God apparently, it's like God knew that it was going to be slang in the future for marijuana. Like pot would be slang for marijuana. But in Romans chapter 12 and verse 2, it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." And in Titus chapter 2 verse 12, Titus chapter 2 verse 12, it states, "Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world." Now look at verse 6. It says, "Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded." We are called to be sober-minded. Us Christians need to be sober-minded so we can be aware of what's going on in this world. And in 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13, it says, "Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ." So we're supposed to be sober-minded, and people who smoke marijuana are not, and are Christians, are not obeying the Bible. And sinners who have never heard about this, I hope you change your ways, because there is gonna be a time when You will bow to Jesus, whether you like it or not. Every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. So I just might as well do it now out of your own heart. Because in the book of Romans it says, I thank God that I have believed the gospel. I have believed from my heart this form of gospel. I think it's the book of Romans, yeah. So we are called to be sober-minded. Hopefully this teaching was a blessing to you, because I'm going to start with the most basic doctrine and then work my way up the ladder, so the Lord can know He can trust me with teaching the Bible. Because I want to do that, as well as play baseball. Lord, I pray for all the lost souls out there, that they get under conviction, and that you take out that heart of stone, Lord, that they have, and give them a heart of flesh, Lord. Save them, O God. Lost sheep are out there, Lord. Help me not be a coward and preach the gospel. Please, O Lord, help me soul win. Help all my loved ones get saved, and all those that hate me as well, Lord. Help them all. They're all souls, Lord. I just want them saved.